this is it. We just got plates. I've idled it to the stop sign and back. It's got inspected. Driving it. First time we've had it over like 30 miles an hour. Oh yeah. Let's go. And the fella we bought it from, Mike. We'll call him Firebird, Mike. Thank you. Look out, cat. Okay. Oh, listen to it. It's so quiet. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. And he left us a cassette in the stereo. I believe.
That one's Stray Cats.
Oh. It was ZZ Top. Oh. Do you hear that? Nothing. No squeak, shakes, or rattles. All right. So, 25,000 kilometers to go. Well, first we got to drive it around for a couple days. Whoop. All right. We have to learn the intricacies of the car. Won't shut off with that ring in the way. Oh. I don't know how it works. Why would you ever turn it off anyhow? Okay. Slow on the gravel. Don't want to have to repaint it too soon. Oh. Better do my seatbelt up. Man, I've been waiting for this. Ah! Does the most honorable cameraman want to put on their seatbelt? Oh, tight steering. Finally. Legally. Quietly. Oh, wow. I like the sound of it. Like it's not too noisy. It's a convertible. Can't have loud exhaust on it. Well, you should on a convertible. Oh, gotta learn where the gear shift goes. There we go. It works in both gears. You heard right. Forget the overdrive. We're going across Canada in a 2-speed. They're bulletproof, last forever. Oh yeah. And it even came with a full tank of gas. Kind of a bonus. Gauges work. Well, everything works. It's got wipers. Hey Mike, we got wipers.
Yeah, the wiper washer is great.
Yes, we do. I could try it. Oh, and it's squirting on the windows. There we go. Okay. Everything works. Backup lights, brake, signals. Very cool. And super tight turning radius. Oh. You gotta love looking down this hood. Heats on the fenders. Center of the hood raised up. It's beautiful. All right. Thank you, Firebird Mike. Oh yeah. Isn't it pretty? Yes. The poor thing. The miles it has to put on. And I'm gonna have to get my dad. He's got an old tool for sewing leather. We're gonna put the roof up. There's one area where the threads, Firebird Mike showed me where it needed some sewing, just a short chunk. So gotta get my dad to teach me how to do that old school way. Yeah, and you know, we haven't put out as much as we expected to because a lot of stuff is going on, like that. Good day. So, today, I'm gonna knock off the end of this, you can see that. So this is a floor support extension. Like I say, we could order them. They're a bit pricey and we'd have to wait for them. And shipping. And when I pick up shipping, I got to drive about 40 miles or so to pick stuff up. So this is a pretty simple piece if you break it down. I'm going to cut it off back here where it's good. And I'm going to take this piece off mostly in one piece. And I'm going to copy it on the bench and put a new one back on. Imagine that. Today, my air compressor, I flicked it on and poof. 6 capacitors, it's a big one. And 1 or 2 have failed. So I have no air, but that's all right. We're going to carry on. I'll get a chance to fix that maybe over the weekend. So I'm going to start by cutting this off. This floor here will be removed and replaced. So this side I can just zip down beside. And we'll see how the other side comes off, whether I drill it or try to air chisel it, remains to be seen. I may just, well, we'll see. Here we go. Wow, that's definitely in good shape. Fabricating battery change. Watched me all day yesterday. I think it's going to be easier to just cut up this body line. Somebody mentioned it would be helpful, instead of just saying what I'm doing, explaining why I'm doing it, because sometimes I forget. The reason I'm cutting on this edge here, I could cut down here, which is what I want to do, but I'm going to run into so many things in the way that if I get this side out of the way, then I can come in from the back and finish trimming that piece. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And I cut it on the corner so I have a reference point. I know it's exactly the edge. So here. Okay, almost there. It wants to stay on the car. Well, I can't get in and cut. I have a tiny little die grinder that I could get into the corner, but I have nowhere. Okay. A little more zip. There. So someone's repaired that before. So we're going to be real careful that we've gone far enough at this back end. Deceiving, because it doesn't look that well. It is rotten, but it doesn't look like that side, does it? So I'm going to come down just a bit more to be safe. Now this is all folded over to fit against the inner rocker. I've already replaced the inner rocker. So, and none of this is straight, so chances are I'm going to make this in 3 pieces, which really doesn't take that long. We're going to get this done pretty quick. So now it's easy to take off the other flange. Like you can see this side, there's another one over here. Let me look. Gee, even the floor above that looks surprisingly good. Okay. Just, wow, not very much more. Just a little bit more. Yeah, okay. Save that. Oh yeah, no pitting at all. That's real good there. That hole must have let stuff drain out. So, put it through the flange, just weld it to the floor. Easier chisel. Oh, see? Can't see much with that. Yeah, I could drill it. A lot of times they just pop off with a couple of wiggles. Yeah, like that. I should have bigger pliers. Be a whole lot easier. I'm gonna go dig some up. So, wiggle it. Well, usually just pops right off. There. This flange is in excellent shape, as is most of the floor. So, I'm going to, did I cut that yet? It's nice to have a reference point, right? So I know exactly where the new one goes. As much as I'm sure it'll be perfect. But, yeah, I'm gonna make up this new piece and then I'll cut this one up. Here we go, one floor brace coming up. So, nice. Okay. So, there's the side we're trying to copy. Then we went a little extra long. So that's pretty basic. Now I have to decide. See, this is, I've got the top here. A little music stand when I'm playing trumpet. Okay, so I'm tracing this because I cut it tight. But what I have to remember is this has a flange on it. It folds over. So I'm going to hammer that over separately over the anvil. And here it does quite a little dip, but again, that's got to have a lip, and that has to have a lip. This would come up just a little bit higher. Okay. And I'm going to make this a little bit long. Yeah, okay. And then for this part, pretty basic. So a little extra long. Same over here. I'm using the pattern. And seeing that's the bottom, right about here, and I leave a flange that'll fold over to go against the inner rocker. So, hopefully we won't be needing that anymore. Now, I made these little cuts here just to make it easier to hammer over. Okay. I decided to cut it a bit wild. I can grind it to thick, as we've seen on the other. So that's looking fairly accurate. Yep. Actually quite decent. So, right, make sure I hammer it the right way. Done that. Okay, I'm going to find my body hammer. And go off to the anvil. Okay. So yes, it's going the other way. Now I ground this really sharp. Ooh, more shims I need. Take to Jeff at 672 Automotive to do an old car alignment. Now that sits like that, so it's got to be over 90 actually. Yes, and the rest of these I could have put it in the vise. Yep, that's going the right way. That particular corner yeah, okay, that's coming. Black felt makes it look ugly, but I'm getting there. And hopefully editing can fix this. Ballpark. That's pretty good. I went a little too far on this one end, but that's all right. Wow, I gotta dig it. I am going to go mess with this one corner that I went about. I'm out right here. fit mount against the inner frame. Inner rocker. Yeah. Okay, so now I can draw a line and match that up. And again, there's the floor support, so I'm using 16 gauge on this, which is just a bit thicker. So now where these overlapped, I'm just going to run the zip through so they can sit flush and weld them up. In a minute. Oh, there we go. There. Now I can tap them all flush. Back to the anvil. I'm going to hole punch these. And I can actually weld that on. I just have to mark this back edge once I get it flat. Seeing I have no air, I can't hole punch my steel. There's my piece, right? So I'm going to hole punch that flange. So I'm going to drill holes in the floor pan. And I could do them in that flange, but it's easier to grind up here. Well, as I said, I'm going to drill the holes in this piece. So I use the drill press for that. Back in a flash. So when I was drilling, I hit the brace on the upper and the top side of the floor. That's why I went, okay, I got to drill holes in my brace I'm building. And the only reason I didn't jump to that is it's a little harder grind my spot welds underneath. That's all right. So now that I've fit the new piece, and here it is. Take that. Bang on. And I've compared it to this one. I can now get rid of this one knowing full well I have the right shape. So I'm going to get rid of this, and then I can blast in here, do my priming. I can weld that new piece on, and then it's a simple matter to cap it, right? It doesn't go so bad. If you're a guy working at home, instead of spending 300 bucks, spend a couple hours and build up one of these. I think it's a pretty good idea. This side's not as bad, but they lap welded or repair. The metal's good up to here, but I'm going to knock it back, way back. Yes. Now you can more easily see slight bit of damage up here. But when I replace this, I'm taking care of that too. I want my floor brace in. Have the shape, a benchmark if you will, to put the rest of it up against. cutting, if I had my little powered zip. Hey, maybe time for a mental health break. I was going to sandblast and realized I have no air. So I'm going to have to use a grinder. So for a completely different set of plans, now that I see this is great, I'm going to put this in. And then I'm going to zip this out and I'm going to change this piece before I cap it and put the other side in. Now that I realize that brace is right above me, which I should have known, it's going to be way easier to repair from under here. And this is all excellent, so I will just zip somewhere along here and replace. Normally I would replace on the top side of this up in here, and that way there's no metal finishing underneath. I may still do that, but for right now I want to get this piece in and have my reference installed. And that's where it goes. So here we go. I got it tacked in there, but a bit of a mess. I usually turn up the heat in the plug welds. And cheap to tack one on the back. Now, you leave a little bit of a gap at the end, right here, on the hopes that the junk can drain out of it. So when we cap it, we're going to make sure we do that too. That's important. We don't want to have someone have to redo this down the road. it in a little bit. I gotta change my welder a little. Nice. That's looking good. Okay, so I finished welding that up. Just wanted to show you. This is my piece. It's going to sit on top once I grind this to fit. Obviously, I marked it to go the other way. So, I'm going to leave this shy like we were talking so it can drain. And we'll run into this again. You can see this goes pretty freaking quick. But, before I put that on, we're going to address this problem over here. So for now, we're good. Alright, so I was having trouble, I had too much weld, just weren't good. I've swapped over to 023, very small, and this should go much better now. So I've got my new bottom here tacked on. Ooh, a little warm. I'm just going to tack it a little more. Of course, when you use the different wire sizes, your heat needs, well, your wire speed might have to go up at the same level of heat because you're putting a smaller wire into the heat. So the first little bit I'm adjusting because I've been running 030 and 035 for a while in this one. So I've got to get dialed in. So some of it might be a little bit sketchy for a little bit. We're hoping for the best here. When it starts to curve down, welding on one side, of course, it pulls out quite a bit. Now I'm just going to grind this edge back at the start, and then I can weld the first little bit, and then make up my last piece and run my home stretch. I'm going to use a zip cut to finish trimming that. It's easy, but I want to get this welded. Still running a little hot. I think I'll turn up my wire speed just a bit. That would help. There. So, I'm now going to use the zip cut and cut a straight line. I'm going to make up the last piece. Well, you know, this is on here. It's pretty much there. I gotta get my air fixed. Use my detail grinder. But I've got to take it's got 6 capacitors, 10 horsepower, big guy. Got to take it apart and run the capacitors into town, try to match them up. See how many are blowing. I'm guessing that's what it is, but most likely. And maybe the starter contacts. Okay, so I did a small floor repair up through here, and again I'll finish detailing that, but that's when it convinced me I need smaller wire, so that's what I did. So now I'm going to cut up another piece of tin for this side. It's pretty straight ahead, and I'll go find some steel. So I'm doing the same thing again. I've started folding pieces over. I'm now going to go to the anvil and hammer this edge over. And when it's up in there, it sits flat on the floor, and I can mark the back end. So I won't make you go through that again, but that's what I'm up to. Okay, I think we're down. I just tripped and gooned myself with a piece of metal, so I was going to finish this off today, but I think I'll be going to the old doctor and get some stitches maybe. Anyhow, this should have been quick and easy. It's a complicated piece to when you generally look at it, but it's anyhow, it's not that tough.
So explain where we are and why.
Well, we just left the hospital. I have a new addition. So I guess progress is going to slow down a little bit, at least tomorrow, because I have to keep it clean. My fingers all work, that's good, but I gooned myself. I got taken out by, I don't know what it was. I have to go back and look. I tripped over something, and I had carefully laid out a piece of rotten steel to use as a pattern, and that's what I landed on. So,
How many
sweep
stitches?
up your area. I didn't count.
No way.
And I didn't watch. But he put in some extra big ones, he said.